Hey folks, Big Deano here, and welcome to a somewhat different review. Well, kinda different, kinda not. This is the Bandai 1/12 model kit Stormtrooper figure. This guy, I wasn't expecting much when I got him, but he's honestly on par, if not better, than a figure arts. I mean, this guy actually beats the figure arts Stormtrooper in terms of proportions and overall aesthetic, really, including articulation and accessories. And he's also cheaper than a Black Series. But yeah, I was really pleasantly surprised with this guy. So first things first, let's try and look at the box, because it is quite large. I mean, I'll quickly open it. It came in all of these things. There we go. So on the side, you've got loads of Stormtrooper pictures, as well as pictures of the figure and all its accessories. On the front, you've got 1/12 scale Bandai logo right here, Stormtrooper, the Empire's elite soldiers, and more blurb on the back. You can also just about make out Darth Vader, the model kit there. I'm contemplating getting him instead of the figure arts, selling the figure arts basically. Nothing else really there. There's nothing on the back, and it's just repeated on the sides. So yeah, this guy took about 4 hours for me to build, which, when you think about it, it's quite a long time, but he's quite in depth as well. In terms of accessories, if I can get this guy up, just so you can see how fluid he actually looks whenever you reposition him. There we go, that'll do him for now. Yeah, he comes with his normal blaster, which is in his hand. It's quite well detailed, you actually have to put it together a little bit. And he also comes with, in this bit that does open up, a little blaster that I dare say I haven't actually seen him ever use in the films. Maybe he used it in like a comic or something. That bit does tend to pop off a wee bit, but being a model kit, you just pop it back on and everything's fine. Let's have him standing like that, cupping his blaster. You get this big blaster as well. Not used often in the show. Unfortunately, the bipod is just stuck there, but it's well detailed. The only issue, obviously, with it being a model kit is there's no paint apps on it. I am not a painter, so I have no intention of changing that. In terms of hands, he comes with quite a few. They pop off like so. If I can get it to focus on it. There we go. It's literally just a peg, but the way they've done it is there's a bit of rubber in there. I don't know if you can see it. And the rubber basically holds onto that quite tightly and allows most of the range of movement that a figure arts joint would. But we'll get to that in a minute. In terms of changing out the blasters and such, because the hands are a solid piece of plastic, you have to separate in half and pop the other gun in. And I've just dropped that piece. Looks like we're putting on the other hand. Yeah, so as I was saying, that's not going very well, is it? And this one's stuck. There we go. Right, so you pop that in there like that, and you clamp it back together like that. And holds it really well. And there you can have him resting it on the ground, looking all chuffed with himself. He's just shot a rebel and killed him. But yeah, the hands, apart from the ones we've just seen, you get 2 fist hands, one of which is on him. You get 2 of these hands. If it'll focus, focus, thank you. Which is all one piece apart from the white bit. You have to pop that on. I glued each of these pieces on because I couldn't be bothered with them popping off. And you've got one with him shouting, "Stop that rebel scum" hand. So yeah, not a bad array of accessories. He does come with a stand as well. It's not your average kind of stand, mind you. It's this solid piece of plastic, hollow, Lucasfilm on the bottom, and his foot basically clamps into this. It clamps quite tightly, but as you can see, he's got no problem standing up on his own. So it can be popped out and obviously flipped around, so you can have it in different poses, but I don't tend to use it because it's quite clearly the cheapest thing out of the lot in this set. But yeah, I'll take that out of his hand just now, or take his entire hand off. In terms of articulation, he's pretty much a figure art, really. If we pop this off, and then pop that out, it's a double ball joint, with, because you can see it slightly if you tilt the head. Focus please, there we go. And double ball peg that goes into his neck and gives him a little bit of movement, not too much, but for a Stormtrooper it really works because the ball joint allows him to look up and down quite high and tilt a fair bit, as much as you would in that sort of armour. And as you can see, you can actually see that bit through there, so that's why they sculpted it. The upper arm, sorry, couldn't think there, is a ball joint with a fly. Is that what you call it? A fly joint. You don't usually get them in figure arts, so I am quite new to them. You don't usually need them. You've got the bicep swivel built into that as well, and that is on its own joint, which you can see pops off easily. Not too easily, but easy enough for me to show it. So yeah, it goes that far. Can go really far forward. And it can also go up and down quite a bit as well. You can put it right up to make it look as if he's a bit short for a Stormtrooper. Or you can put it down a wee bit to make it look more fluid. I personally have it in the middle. You do have figure art style double joint, but as you can see, it gets almost 180 degrees of movement. That's because it's actually on a sort of pull down mechanism. If you leave it as it is, you get figure arts range. You pull it out, you get that full range. So really good design there. The hands, as I said, are just the bit of rubber with the peg, which gives it enough, not much, but just enough to use. You'll notice a lot of these joints are pretty much inspired by the figure arts line. That's because Bandai obviously owns Tamashii, and they took the designs and changed them a little bit, I feel, just to make these model kits that bit better. He does have a really good ab crunch. You can get lots of movement there, and you actually can't tell there's an ab crunch even there. He does have a bit of a waist swivel, not much. It's literally... I can't pop it off. It's a really tight peg in there, ball peg. The legs, surprisingly, are the figure art style ones. So they pull down for higher angle, can't speak today, higher angle kicks. If you leave them up, they don't get that much. But you can pull them down, again, to make them taller or shorter. The knees are figure art style as well. You get about that. The knees don't look too bad, they're a bit square, but that just comes from the fact that you have to build them yourself. The feet, again, figure art style. You get nice up and down, and you get really good ankle pivot. No toe articulation, but I think that would be a bit difficult to design into a build your figure sort of thing. But yeah, articulation in this guy is superb, especially given like the state of some model kits that I have bought in the past. Looking at you, Gundam. It was just the cheaper Gundams, right enough, but still, getting a quick comparison to Figure Arts Vader, you can see a problem straight away. He doesn't really fit in the scale of the Black Series, even though he's essentially, no, not a Black Series, in the scale with the Figure Arts, even though he essentially is one. If I can find Black Series Vader, on the other hand, who's still patiently waiting about for his shot in the limelight, you can see the scale's actually perfect with that. So I don't know what was going on in the model kit side of things heads. They tend to overscale them for their own sort of lines in favour of the American lines, which is bizarre. But yeah. Just quickly put him into a good wee pose. You can see how easy it is just to pop those hands on and off. It's a really good design. I think Tamashii should actually consider that as well. But yeah, good and bad points about this figure. Good is basically the entire figure. If you're willing to spend the time to build it, he's actually incredible. I mean, he's half the price the horrific Figure Arts one is going for at the moment, and he's even cheaper than the Black Series Stormtrooper, which frankly looks like crap in comparison. And as I showed, he fits perfectly in that scale. Unfortunately, he doesn't really fit in scale with the Figure Arts brand, but that's just the way they went, unfortunately. He does sit, if you put him into a pose, he sits fairly well in a set with the rest of them. You don't really notice any differences whatsoever. Yeah, bad points is definitely his height. Also, his head looks a little bit oversized, if I'm being completely honest, but some Stormtrooper suits were like that, so they probably designed it off a specific kind. But yeah, final thoughts on this guy. If you can stand to get all the materials in place, I mean, it cost me a £5 for the clippers and that sort of thing, and the tweezers, just to make sure I got everything right, because I forgot to actually mention the details in the head, like these here, and his actual mouthpiece are a sticker. Being a Stormtrooper, he doesn't need that many stickers put on, but you have to bear in mind that to have him look semi-complete, you do need to put those on. They've not peeled yet, they've not so much as moved yet, but it's something to keep in mind. But yeah, if you can stand to wait around for 4 hours, concentrating on building this guy and making sure all the sprue is shaved off him and stuff like that, he's a fantastic figure to put in the back, and definitely worth the money. So yeah, I'll see you later, guys.